Has anything ever gone really wrong in your life? In the video you're about to see, I was trying to explain how God uses all of our ingredients to create something great, but it didn't go exactly as planned. Make sure you watch all the way to the end. Enjoy. Have you ever seen one of those baking shows where the contestants are challenged to create a masterpiece with just a few ingredients? You know, they get a few things, they don't have access to all the tools they need, all the stuff they need. Somehow they're expected to create something that's gonna taste great. And the tension's high, there's all this energy and anticipation as we wait to see who's gonna win. Here's the deal. In our lives, many times we feel like we're trying to create a masterpiece, but we haven't been given the right ingredients. Think about baking a cake, right? You've got all these individual ingredients that go in, and some of them on their own taste great, and some of them not so much. So let's talk about sugar. Sugar tastes great on its own. But if you just eat an entire cup of sugar, you're gonna get sick. Some people go through life trying to just constantly consume whatever tastes good, whatever feels good in the moment, deal with the repercussions the next morning, right? Then think about flour. You gotta have flour to bake a great cake, but flour, unlike sugar, doesn't taste so good on its own. I mean, just imagine with me eating this cup of flour on its own. It's gross. I mean, it would get stuck in your mouth. I'm throwing up a little bit just thinking about it. It's just disgusting, but you need it in a cake. And so it's gotta go in. It's one of the ingredients. Think about baking powder. I mean, baking powder is one of those ingredients that I don't know about you, I've never been tempted to go, you know what I want? I just want to go grab a can of baking powder and just gobble it up. I mean, that just sounds delicious. And yet, you got to have that in a cake. You just got to measure it out right, and it's got to go in, because if it's not in the cake is not going to end up being what it's supposed to be. Think about butter. We can all agree everything's better with butter. I'm not sure how much butter is supposed to go in this cake, but I'm going to wing it and say an entire stick. In fact, let's just get crazy with it. If we're gonna eat a cake, let's make it a cake we can love. All of those ingredients have to go into a cake for it to taste great. Some of them taste good on their own, some of them taste horrible on their own, but together they result in something great. Listen, here's your life. Your life is a cake. And you probably feel like some of the ingredients are good. You probably have moments in your life that you think of as mountaintop moments, when you got an A on the test, or you got a promotion, or you were popular, you were well liked, your business took off. But you probably have some other ingredients in your life that you wish you could do away with. A cup of flour, when you got a C on the test. If you're a perfectionist, when you got a B+, you know who you are. When you were trying to get pregnant and couldn't, or when you weren't trying to get pregnant and you did. All of those moments are unexpected things that don't taste good, but here's the good news. When you give your life over to the expertise of the God who created you, He can take all the ingredients in your life, work them together, and make something great. In fact, His Word says that that's what He does best. God causes all things to work together for the good of those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. You hand Him the sugar, you hand Him the flour, you hand Him the baking powder. We didn't talk about the vanilla extract. Who drinks that straight up? Well, hopefully nobody. But you got to have a little bit in the cake to make it taste great. You hand all that stuff to God, and God says, yeah, bring it on. I'll take the stuff in your life that tastes good. I'll take the stuff in your life that tastes terrible. I'll work it together. We're going to end up with cake. So all I need in this moment is a cake. Somebody bring me a cake. That's what God can do with your life if you hand Him all the ingredients. So let God work in your life.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Thought in 3. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with everything happening at The Journey.